Caesar. Please be advised that this show contains prop weapons, non-firing firearms, depictions of violence, and depictions of suicide. Actors make frequent use of all aisles and entrances, so please do your best to remain seated until the end of the performance. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the sunny shores of the Caribbean.
Hence! Home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? Speak, what trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
You, sir, what trade are you?
A trade that, I hope, I may use with a safe conscience, which is, indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave? What trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet, if you be out, sir, I can mend you.
What meanest thou? Mend me, thou saucy fellow.
Why, sir, cobble you.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
I am, indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. As proper a man as ever trod upon needs leather have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore art not in thy thought today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes to get myself into more work. But, indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome, you blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things? Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome, do you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements, the towers and windows, yea, the chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his galleon butt appear, had you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now cut out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes and tramp over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods that intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
Go. Go, good countrymen. And, for this fault, assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to the Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. See whether their baseless metal be not moved. They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way toward the Capitol. This way will I disrobe the images, if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so?
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive the vulgar away from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men, keep us all in servile fearfulness.
Who calls?
Bid every noise be still. Peace!
Who is it in this press that calls upon me? I hear a voice shriller than all music cries, Caesar. Speak! Caesar is turned to listen.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throne. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires, I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed am I of late with passions of some difference. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that. Poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, and you may see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
To what danger would you lead me, Cassius? You would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me.
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
It means the shouting. I do fear that people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, but I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? If it ought before the general could set honor in one eye and death eye the other, I should look on both indifferently. Let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. This man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly, but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye whose bend doth awe the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Cato, as a sick child. Ye gods, it doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
With another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors heaped onto Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that Caesar Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed that he's grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by in age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man? When could they say, till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now, is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man?
If you do love me, I am nothing jealous. If you would work me too, I have some aim. How I've thought of this and of these times I shall look out thereafter. But for the present I would not, and so with love I might entreat. Be any further moved. What you have said I shall consider. What you have to say I shall with patience hear. And find time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus hath rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome, under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath preceded worthy note today.
Antonius,
Caesar.
yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well-given.
I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should so soon avoid as that fair Cassius. He reads too much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he'd mocked himself, in scorn his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease while they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared, rather than what I fear. For as always I am Caesar. Come on, my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkest of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered to him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, merry was it, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than other, and at every putting by, my honest neighbors shouted.
Well, who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It's mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, but 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then it was offered to him again. Then he put it by again. Yet, to my thinking, he was loath to lay his fingers off it. Then it was offered to him a third time, and he put it a third time by, and still, as he refused it, The rowmen hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he had swoonded and fell down at it. And for my own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the failing sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the ragtag people did not clap him or hiss him according as he pleased or displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
When he came to himself again, he said that if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired that their worships think it his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul!" and forgave him with all their hearts. But there is little heed to be taken of them, for if Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away?
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you this, I'll never look you in the face again, but those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads, but for my own part, it was Greek to me. I have more news too. Marlus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Very well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye. If I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school.
This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time, I shall leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I shall come home to you. Or, if you please, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet, I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their lives, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Casca, brought you Caesar home. Why are you breathless? Why stare you so?
Are you not moved? When all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen when the ambitious ocean swells and rages and foams to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. civil strife in heaven, or else the earth, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
Against the capital I met a lion that glared upon me and went surly by without annoying me. And there were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men and all fire walk up and down the streets. And yesterday, a bird of night did sit, even at noonday, upon the marketplace, hooting and screeching. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say these are their reasons. They are natural. For I believe that they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Come Caesar to the capital tomorrow?
He doth, for he did bid Antonius send word to you he would be there tomorrow.
Good night then, Cassius. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell. A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Here's good, Cassius. What night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens been as so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night. And when the crossed blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
If you would consider the true cause, why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures, and perform faculties to monstrous quality, why, you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars, as doth the lion in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself or me.
'Tis Caesar that you speak of, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is, for Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors. But woe the while our noble minds are dead, and our yoke and sufferance show us cowards.
Indeed, they say tomorrow the senators mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger, then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. But, being wary of these worldly bars, life never lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman holds in his own hand the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar! But, oh, grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman. Then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
It is Casca that you speak to. It is such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now, know you, Casca? I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this, they stay for me in Pompey's theater. For now, this fearful night, there is no stir or walking in the streets. And the complexion of the element in favor is like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
His Cinna, I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you.
Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
What a fearful night is this! There's 2-3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party!
Be you content? Good, Cinna. Take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus's statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's theater, where you shall find us. Is Statius and Trebonius there?
All but Metellus, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
He sits high in all the people's hearts. That which would appear offense in us, like his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change it to virtue and worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceded. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him and be sure.
What, Lucius? Ho!
Called you, my lord.
Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
Hello, my lord.
It must be by his death. For my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It's the bright day that brings forth the adder that craves wary walking. Crown him that... And then I'd rect. We put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. To speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder whereto the climber upward turns his face. When he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then, lest he may, prevent. And since our quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities. and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy. The Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look into the calendar and bring me word.
Will, sir.
The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light as I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hands of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wed me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motions, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of men, like a little kingdom, suffers the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, 'tis Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let them enter. They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brows by night when evils are most free? Ah, then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek not conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. For if thou pass thy native semblance on not Erebus itself, were dim enough to hide thee from prevention.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Did we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honors you, and everyone doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which every noble woman bears of you. This is Trebonius, Decius, Casca, Cinna, and this, Metellus.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. Not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off betimes and each man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sided tyranny range on till each man drop by lot. Gentlemen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other oath than honesty to honesty engage that this shall be? For we will fall for it.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths in wildness shall no wit appear, but all be buried in his gravity.
Name him not, but let's not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find with him a shrewd contriver, and You know, his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all. Which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers, Caius. We all stand against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of men there is no blood. Ah, that we could come by Caesar's spirit, but not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed. Gentle friend, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for the hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and then after seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary and not endless, which so appearing to the common eyes we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And as for Mark Antony, do not think of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and to much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace! Count the clock.
The clock has stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once, of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him hither, and I'll fashion him.
The morning comes upon us. We leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good countrymen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you and everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now?
You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesterday night at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. When I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, yet you answered not, but with an angry washer of your hand, gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience, which seemed too much enkindled, and withal, hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath this hour with every man, who will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape, and hath it much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, Portia, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in good health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the day? What? Is Brutus sick? That he would steal from his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night? To tempt the roomy and unpunished air to add to his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and upon my knees I charm you by my once committed beauty, by all your vows of love and that great love which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, while you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to come resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not,
I shall not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bonds of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that pertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my
Is this
sad
true?
heart.
Then I should know the secret. Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here and thigh. Can I bear this with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake in the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I shall construe to thee, all the character of my sad brow. Leave me with haste. Lucius! Who's that knocks?
It is a sick man who would speak with you.
Caius Ligarius, a Metellus speaker. Boys, stand aside. Caius Ligarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
For the time have you chose out, brave Caius, to wear a kerchief. Would you were not sick?
I am not sick. If Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear it.
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That we must also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with a heart new fired, I follow you. To do what, I know not, but sufficeth that Brutus leads me on.
Then follow me.
Neither heaven nor earth has been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho, they murder Caesar." Who's within?
My lord,
go bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to go forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets. Graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon a cloud in ranks and squadrons and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Caesar shall forth, for these warnings are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say, you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say that I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home today. Here's Decius. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
You are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators, and let them know I will not come today. Cannot is false, in that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I'll let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home today. She has dreamt of my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. In these does she apply for warnings, importance, and evils imminent, and hath, on her knee, begged me stay at home today.
This dream is all amiss interpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And in this way you have well expounded it.
I will have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word he will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. Caesar hides himself, shall they not whisper, Lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to a proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Fetch my robe, for I will go. And here's Lepidus, come fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Good morrow, Lepidus. But Brutus, so that stirred so early too. Now Casca, Caius, Ligarius. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis strucketh 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesies. See, Antony! That which revels long o' nights is now standing up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Go bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Now, Cinna, now Metellus, what, Trebonius, I have an hour's talk in store for you today. Remember that you call upon me, and be near to me, so that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will, and so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in, taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
And every like is not the same, oh, Caesar. The heart of Brutus yearns to think upon it.
I heard you, boy. Run to the Senate house. Say not to answer me, but get thee gone. What dost thou say?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee here and there again. Here I can tell thee what thou shouldest do there. Oh, Constancy, be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and my tongue. There yet.
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well. For he went sickly forth. Take good note of him, what Caesar doth and what suitors press him. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray, and the wind brings it forth from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is it o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Has Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Ah, madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see him pass on.
Why? Knowest thou any harm intended towards him?
None that I know may be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow, the throng that follows Caesar at the heels of suitors, of praetors, senators will crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void and there speak to great Caesar as he comes to me.
I shall go in. Oh, Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thy enterprise. Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am married. Come to me again and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Sirrah, give place.
Cassius, I hope your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Papilius?
Very well.
What said Papilius, Lena?
We wish today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
How he makes to Caesar mark him.
Cast be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Papilius Lena knows not our purposes, for look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Cronius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus? Let him go, and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Casca, you are the first that raise your hand.
Are we all ready? What now is remiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus goes before thy seat, and humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Metellus Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance in first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood, that would be thawed from the true quality by that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother, by decree, is banished. If thou dost bend, and pray, and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. Know this, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Aurelius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
Brutus.
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As lowest to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Aurelius Cimber.
I could be well moved, if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayer would move me. But I am as constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and arresting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, and they are all fire, and each one doth shine, but there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh, and blood, and apprehensive. But in that number I do know but one, that unassailable holds his rank, unshaped of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, that even in this I was constant. Cimber should be banished, inconstant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak! Hands for me!
Die so good!
That too, Brute? Then fall, Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence, proclaim, crying about the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators! Be not affrighted. Lie not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus. And Cassius, too.
Where's Levin?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar should chant.
Not of standing. Lepidus, good cheer. There's no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Lepidus.
And leave us, Papilius, lest that the people, rushing on us, should do you some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide the deed but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
And fates, you shall know your pleasures. That we must die, we know. It's but the time in drawing days out that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fear and death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit. So we are Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and, waving our weapons over our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport? That now on Pompey's basis lies along, no worthier than the dust.
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
Aye! What? Shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft! Who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me say, Brutus is wise, noble, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say, I feared Caesar, honored and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Mark Antony may safely come and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, then Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master Antony.
My master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place. He shall be satisfied, and, upon my honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much. My misgiving still falls shrewdly to the purpose.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, doth thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank if I myself? There is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all the world. I do beseech you, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself more apt to die. No place will please me so, nor no mean of death as here by Caesar, and by you cut off the choice and master spirits of this age.
Beg not your death of us, Antony. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands in this our present act. You see we do, yet see you but our hands in this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our strength in arms of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude besides themselves with fear. And then we shall deliver to you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. Next Caius Cassius do I take your hand. Now yours Decius, now yours Metellus, now yours Cinna, and my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit should look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee, dear, than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble, in the presence of thy corse? Had I as many eyes as thou hadst wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to serve in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends? Or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down at Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else this were a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Mark Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover a suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you.
You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
Under your pardon, I will myself to the pulpit first, and give reasons for our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest. He speaks by leave and by permission. And that we are contented, Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall, I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take your Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission, else you shall not have any hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak into the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, forgive me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of land and sea. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile as they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, all pity choked with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me to say to you by word of mouth
Oh, Caesar!
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching, for mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, do begin to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence, and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. There, in my oration, shall I try how the people take the issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
Brutus! We will be satisfied!
Let us be satisfied! Follow me and give me audience, friends. Cassius, go into the other street and part the numbers. Those that will hear me speak, let them stay here. Those that will follow Cassius, go with him. And public reasons shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
I will hear Cassius, and compare their reasons when severally we hear them render.
The noble Brutus is ascended. Silence!
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent, that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If, then, that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? That Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at him. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who here is so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who here is so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who here is so vile that would not love his country? If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus!
None!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glories not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this, I depart, that, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus! Live! Bring him the triumph into house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar. Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus.
You will bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
My countrymen,
Peace, silence. Brutus speaks.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and, for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay home. Let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say, Brutus? He says, for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholding to us all. For best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace out. Let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live after them. The good is oft interred in their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that I thrice presented him with the kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and, sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings. If thou think rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will worse come in his place. Mark ye not his words? He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, then some will deride it. Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony. Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But look, here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. They would go kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll read the will. Say it, Mark Antony.
The will, the will.
Let us hear it!
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not me to know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men.
And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs. Oh, what would come of it? We will hear the will. You shall read it to us, Antony. The will, Caesar's will.
Will you have patience? Will you stay a while? I fear I've overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wronged the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. Honorable men?
The will, the testament!
They were villains, murderers. The will, read the will!
You will compel me, then, to read the will?
Aye!
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I do remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. In this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Brutus followed it, as rushing out of doors, to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, and great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. What, kind souls, weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Here is himself, marred as you see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle, noble Caesar!
Oh, oh, traitors, villains!
Oh, bloody sight! We'll be revenged! He's home. Let us hear the blazing. We'll hear him, we'll follow him, we'll die with him!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, sweet friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and move the very stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
We'll burn the house of Brutus!
Away then! Come! Seek the conspirators!
Yet hear me, countrymen! Yet hear me speak!
Peace hold! Let us hear Mark Antony! Most noble Antony!
Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of.
The will! Let's stay and hear the will.
Here is the will. And under Caesar's seal he gives, to every Roman citizen, to every several man, 75 guineas.
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death.
Oh, royal Caesar.
Hear me with patience!
Peace! Ho!
Here was a Caesar! When comes such another?
Never! Never! Go! Away! We will burn his body in the holy place with the
Freeze! Fire the traitors' houses!
Go fix fire!
Pull down the benches!
Look on firms, windows, anything! Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's ship.
Thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say, Brutus and Cassius are set like madmen out the docks of Rome.
But like they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky did charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth from doors, yet something draws me forth.
You! What is your name? Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell? Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
Aye, and wisely.
Aye, and truly. You are best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I married or a bachelor? Then to answer every man, directly and briefly, wisely and truly, wisely, I am a bachelor.
But that's as much to say, they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I proceed to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or enemy?
As a friend!
That matter is answered directly.
For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly, I am Cinna.
Tear him to pieces! He's a conspirator!
I am Cinna the poet! I am Cinna the poet!
Tear him for his bad verses!
I am not Cinna the conspirator!
It's no matter! His name, Cinna! Pluck but his name out of his heart and tear him going! Tear him! Come! Brands ho! Firebrands! To Brutus! To Cassius! Burn them! Some to Decius' house! Some to Casca's! Some to Ligarius'! Away! Go!
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus.
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition, Papilius shall not live, who is thy sister's son. Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch us the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies. This is a slight unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his word who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man, to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold. To groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way, and having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. Do not speak of him but as a property. And now, Octavius, listen great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore let our alliances be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and presently let us sit in council. How covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answer.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and made about with many enemies, and those that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischief.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, ye gods. How should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs. And when you do them,
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Leave us.
Pandarus, bid our commanders leave their charges off a little from this ground. That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You condemned and noted Gaius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man, were slided off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm! You know that you are Brutus that speak this. Or, by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash as can be grasped thus? I'd rather be a dog than bay the moon in such a role.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier. I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
It's possible.
Hear me, for I shall speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted of a madman's stare?
Oh, ye gods, ye gods! Must I endure all this?
All this, I more. Fret till your proud heart breaks. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split me. From this day forth, I shall use you for my mirth, I for my laughter, when you are waspish.
Does it come to this?
You say you are the better soldier, let it appear so, make your vaunting true. It shall please me well for mine own part, I shall be glad to know of noble men.
You wrong me every way, you wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace! You durst not so have tempted him!
I durst not!
No!
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There's no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I'm armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you deny me. For I can raise no money by vile means. I did send to you for certain sums to pay my allegiance, which you denied me! Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so?
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not. Do you practice them on me?
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony! And young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius! For Cassius is a weary of the world. hated by one he loves. All his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart, dearer than Plutus is mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth. I, that denied thee gold, will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar. For I know when thou didst hate him worst, thou lovest him better than ever thou lovest Cassius. Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor. Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him? When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too. You confess so much. Give me your hand. And my heart too. Brutus, what is the matter? Have not you love enough to bear with me, when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful? Yes, Cassius. And from this day forward you are over earnest with your Brutus. I shall think your mother chides and leave you so. Lucius! Bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight. And bring Masala with you.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I'm sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use, if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead. Portia! She is dead. How escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Insupportable and touching loss, upon what sickness? Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. With her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire,
And died so.
Even so. Oh, ye immortal gods! Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, Lucius, to the wine or swell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Welcome, good Masala. I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition towards Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bill of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
There our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by their prescriptions. Cicero being one.
Cicero one.
Cicero is dead. And by that order of prescription, have you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Masala.
Nor nothing in your letters rid of her?
Nothing, Masala.
That, methinks, is strange.
Why ask you? Here you ought to from yours.
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then, like a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner.
Why, farewell, Portia. We must die, Messala, with meditating that she must die once. I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great losses great men should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you, but yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive, what say you of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must, to force, give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them, shall have a fuller number up, come on refreshed, newly added, and encouraged. From which advantage we shall cut him off, if at Philippi we do face him here, these people at our back.
Hear me.
Under your pardon. You must note besides, that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause ripe. The enemy increaseth every day, and we, at the height, are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Amid it, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in misery. On such a full sea as we are now afloat, we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures.
Then, if your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our top, and nature must obey necessity. There is no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise and hence.
Farewell, good Messala. Good night, Cassius. Noble, noble Cassius. Good night and good repose.
Oh, my dear Brutus, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never come such division between our souls again. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good Cassius.
Good night.
Farewell, everyone.
Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come, and it proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They need to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Tut, I'm in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit any place and come down here with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead you your battle softly on, upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I. Keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me, Miss Exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand, and would have parley.
Stand fast, Cato. We must out and talk.
Antony, shall I give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on no charge. Make forth. The generals will have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as do you.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you gave good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar."
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the hive bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Yes, and soundless. For you have stolen their buzzing Antony and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your daggers hacked one another in the side of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondsmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur from behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself his tongue had not offended so today, if Cassius might have ruled.
Come the cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will be in redder drops. Look, I draw my sword against conspirators. When think you that it goes up again? Never, till that Caesar's 23 stab wounds are well avenged, or till another Caesar has added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringest them with thee.
I should hope so. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
If thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why now? Blow wind, swell billow, and swim bark. The storm is up, and all is on the hazard. Messala!
What says my general?
Give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness, that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell. And there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads and downward look on us, as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly, that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But, since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, and is this the very last time that we shall speak together? What are you then determined to do?
I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall. So to prevent this time of life, arming myself with the patience to stay the providence of some high power that governs us below.
Then, if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end that work, the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take forever and forever, Cassius. Farewell. If we do meet again, we shall smile. If not, why then, this parting was well made.
Forever and forever. Farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Come! Away!
Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
The ship is far enough. Look, look, Cato. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Cato, if thou lovest me, hie aboard that ship with haste and care, and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with the foes.
Go, Pindars, get higher on the rigging. Thy sight was ever thick. Regard Cato, and tell me what thou noticed about the field.
This day I breathed first. Time is come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run his compass.
Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord.
What news?
Cato, he's enclosed round about, but they're almost on him. He's taken. And hark, they shout for joy.
Come down, behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long. To see my best friend ta'en before my face. Come now, keep thine oath. And with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilt. And when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar! Thou art revenged! Even with the sword that killed thee.
Oh, Cassius, far from this country Pindar shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
It is but change, Cato, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus's power as Cassius's legions are by Antony.
These tidings will comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
Oh, this consulate, with Pindarus, his bondman.
Is that not he that lies upon the deck?
He lies not like a living. Oh, my heart!
Is that not he?
No, this was he, Masala. Cassius no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, O melancholy's child, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men these things that are not? O error soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but kill'st the mother that engendered thee.
What? Pindarus? Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Cato, whilst I go to find the noble Brutus. Thrusting this report into his ears, for piercing steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Hide you, Masala, and I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me to Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they place upon my brows this wreath of victory, and bid me give me? Didst thou not hear those shouts? Alas, hast misconstrued everything. Behold, take this garland on thy brow, thy Brutus bid me give me, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace, and see how I regard you, Caius Cassius.
Where must all doth his body lie?
Lo, yonder, and Cato mourning it.
Julius Caesar! all Romans, fare you well. It is impossible that Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Yet, countrymen, oh, yet, hold up your heads!
What bastard doth not? Who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato Ho, a foe to tyrants and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato Ho.
Right. And Brutus! Marcus Brutus! I, Brutus, my country's friend, know me for Brutus! Noble Cato, thou down?
Yield, or thou diest!
Only I will yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight, kill Brutus, and be honored in his death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Rumho, tell Antony. Brutus is ta'en.
Tell him. Here comes the general. Brutus is taken! Brutus is taken, my lord! Where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no man shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, if alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friends. But I assure you, a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe, give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than my enemies. Go you and see whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word into Octavius' tent how everything is chanced.
Come, poor remains of friends. Rest on this rock.
Lucius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Decius. Slaying is the word, it is a deed in fashion. Come hither, good Casca. List a word.
What says my lord?
Why, this. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is. Thou seest the world, Casca, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pits. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Casca. Thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that, our love of gold, I prithee. Hold now my sword hilt, while I do run upon it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly! Fly, my lord! There is no tarrying here!
My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he who was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day. More than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well at once! For Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night has fallen upon mine eyes, my bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly! My lord! Fly!
Hence! I will follow. I prithee, straight out. Straight out by thy lord. thy life has had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face, while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, Strato.
What man is that? My master's man. Strato, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. The conquerors can but make a fire of him, for Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor in his death.
So Brutus should be found.
All those that serve Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
Aye, if Messala will prefer me to you.
Do so, good Messala.
How died my master, Strato?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
Octavius, then take him to follow thee, that did the latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him justly, with all respect and rites of burial. In my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier and ordered honorably. So, let's call the fields to rest and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.
This will be your homely boys, so
Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We have been the Maryland Shakespeare Players. We piratical themed adaptation of this most beloved Shakespeare play. We want to thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We are an entirely student-run, student-directed, student-acted, and most importantly, crowd-funded group. So, if you enjoyed our show tonight and you want to throw a few bucks our way, we take both cash and Venmo donations. Or if you have a more material bent to your want for supporting Shakespeare, we also have, we're actually out of shirts from this show, but we have shirts from our club's previous years, as well as stickers and pins on sale in the lobby. Is Lucas around with a bin? No, he's disappeared entirely. Well, someone will be there.
What's the Venmo?
Oh, the Venmo. Right, indeed. It's at MD_Shakespeare. Once again, MD_Shakespeare. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. And let's give the cast another round of applause. Let me do the lobby after. Thank you so much. Good night.
Leon.
Yes?
One moment. Anderson.
Yes?
Anderson, if you will show him.
Oh.
Thank you, Leon.